Hey all, I feel called to share a journey that I've been on in case anybody else is in the same flow and this might be of service. For the past few months, my immune system really tanked, and it has been a long, like years before, like since I've had any immune anything. And it's just been an interesting time. And before that, I'd say for like the last 2 years, the last year definitely, but for the last 2 years, my energy has been really different. My life force energy has felt different. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting older and that whole story. I still treat my body like extremely well, and many would say that I'm like super pure and, a little bit extreme in my purism. But that's just how I've been for like about, many decades, 4 decades plus. No, I'd say 4 decades. Since I was really, really young, I've been on this kind of peak performance, peak physical body, peak wellness journey. That's why I have a program called Peak Wellness. The thing that I've really come to, and it was with the help of some mentors and an experience where I just was realizing, and through some quantum technology, was realizing that I have been quite malnourished. Before I went away, I went to Costa Rica. Before I went away, I was feeling into some blood tests and really thinking about what are my deficiencies and lining that up. And so I have some appointments scheduled this month for those things. Yet I was able to intercept even that process with something, we want to use all the tools available to us. And one of the tools available to us are frequency technologies that are just you're not going to hear of them in mainstream. Because why? Because they sort of cut out the need for other old modalities. But, we want to really have all hands on deck and get a really good understanding of what's going on with our bodies so we can be optimal. We're not like, you can buy into the story. If you're older, you can buy into a story that, this is just how I feel, I'm aging. Or you can buy into the story that you're not aging, that your body is continuing to renew itself in many ways. And of course, we all have our own journey with that. What I just recently learned was that my body was quite malnourished and my different organs, and I wasn't surprised at all because that's what I was feeling. And I felt like I just need a big giant dose of nourishment. And I was thinking, okay, supplements, on my supplement journey, and I've been on this journey for years. I used to, be a total like pure supplement seeker and hunter. And then I would sell them because, it's not easy to find the best of the best, like best ever quality, pure, they're made with the high frequency and like the right intention and the right ingredients and no swag, fillers and all that other stuff. And so I used to be really passionate about hunting for the best of the best. And I still am, for myself, but I don't really depend on supplements that much anymore. And as I've just continued to simplify over the years, but then you listen, and when you need it, you take it, but just not that every single day rote. Like the whole process of peak wellness is learning to understand and listen and know your body so well that when you need to be taking supplements, when you need to be complementing, your diet or your ways of being, and when you need a break from those things, because otherwise they just sort of build up in the body. And the body, the whole goal is to teach it to produce itself, to produce from its natural state. And now we live in a time where soil is so depleted that we're not getting all of the minerals we need, and we do need to supplement. But then we are also reprogramming and teaching our body to manufacture and create these things optimally by itself and regenerate. We're not just regenerating soil, we're regenerating our body's capacity to create. So this message is to share something that I've been going through, and that is this like real deep sense of malnourishment. And malnourishment in a lot of ways, like spiritually, relationshiply, like just in all areas of our lives. When we're experiencing one thing in our body, we want to look at it and do inventory in every area of our life. That's the Peak Wellness Program, if this is speaking to you. So what the bottom line is, and the thing I'm sharing here, is I actually have been vegan. I say vegan because that's what most people understand. I have my version of vegan. I don't follow anyone's anything. I'm literally listening to my body at all, and my consciousness and my being at all times. So I eat eggs. You know, there's a local farm where I live, and I go and I get eggs from there. I know I met the chickens, you know. So that's you know, something I do. Of course, I eat honey when my body wants honey. So vegan in the sense of that word is something people can relate to and understand and work within. You know, if I'm going out with somebody or whatever. I don't need to label it, you know. For me, it's just pure. I eat medicine. I eat medicine. I listen to my body, of course, and I like to indulge as well, but my indulgences might be different than yours. So here's the bottom line. The bottom line is I ate meat. I ate meat in Costa Rica, and I knew it came from a trusted source to see, like the cows that were regenerating the soil. They lived good, humane lives and happy, 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 happy animals. And it was the thing I'm sharing here. It was meat as medicine. It really was meat as medicine. And like, I don't know, 15 years ago, I was a student of Dr. Gabriel Cousens. I used to read a lot of his work. I went and did workshops with him and sat in retreats with him. And he has a book, and I remember in the book, Vibrational Medicine, and now Gabriel Cousens at that time, it was all raw food. And in the book, I think it's Spiritual Nutrition. That's the name of the book. This was so many years ago. And in his book, he talks about meat, using meat as medicine. And I had such a deep, like something activated in my body when I ate it that remembered me reading that line like 15 years ago and the activation that happened. And so yesterday I'm back at home now, and I went and I found a source for the right type of aligned, happy, grass-fed, you know, really humanely cared for, humanely raised meat, cow. And I bought it, and I created a very beautiful ceremony at home and cooked it, which I haven't done. I used to cook for my dog, turkey for my dog. And that was a stretch as vegan, really, as not having cooked meat for so long. Like, that was hard. And because of that, my bogey was like such a teacher in so many ways, and such a spiritual gateway for me in so many things, as are most of our pets, if we allow and recognize, and our children. And I actually cooked the meat, and I ate the meat, and it was so nourishing. This was last night, and it was so nourishing and grounding. And I actually feel really different today. I feel really different today. And all I keep hearing is meat is medicine, meat is medicine. Now, I don't need to eat it every day. I don't need to eat it every week. I know right this moment, eating it yesterday was meat as medicine, and I feel extremely different. Just came from a yoga practice, about to hit the gym, and then drop into a bunch of projects and catching up. And I really wanted to share this. You know, I don't always share my journey, and I'm on a deep journey myself. And for those of us holding space for transformation as coaches, as leaders, you know, it's easy to want to put up a front about, we got it all figured out. It's all dialed in. It's beautiful. It's perfect, you know, and it's not the case. We're all, you know, as much as we are holding this space, we are the ones who are called to, we are all the ones who are called. Like, if you consider yourself a leader, if you consider yourself really committed to creating something new on this planet and improved and better, then you are committed to the journey. You're committed to your personal evolution. You're committed to doing business different. You're committed to seeing what others might not be seeing, so that we can hold this and ground this template in for the future. And it's fascinating at this time where so many people are saying, go meat free because it's better for the environment, go meat free. This is fascinating because, and there's also, like, you know, climate and you know, drawing down the temperature and drawing down carbon in the atmosphere is like the big one thing, right? Well, we knew this 30 years ago. Indigenous communities, people, the Kogi, my activism in my journey 30 years ago, we knew this. We were talking carbon sequestration 30 years ago. And now it's like, oh my gosh, it's now. It was then too. You know, yes, everything is speeding up. And so how can we shift the narrative away from this like apocalyptic energy of, yeah, no, it's just interesting. I'm just going to say this. It's really interesting to be on this other side where I've been vegan this whole time. And now meat is like, has called me, and the cow, that energy has called me as that I need this in order to hold space for my service and my divine service in this world, so that we can see a new potential, so that we can create living systems, so that we can be, fall in love with ourselves as nature again. That's really what the invitation is. And as much as we continue, and yes, we have to look at these issues, but as much as we continue to like name it as carbon in the atmosphere, or this or that, we're separating ourselves from it. It's another game of separation. It's another game of separation. So this invitation from me to you and back to me is, how can we continue to connect more with ourselves as nature, as part of the cycle, as part of the next evolution of our future human selves, as part of the next evolution of this new earth template that we're creating? So that's the invitation. And it might sound like, because you haven't heard it that way before, or maybe you have heard it and you had some kind of stigma against it or a bias, or, oh, those people. But this is that invitation to just expand your heart and connect to yourself as nature and ask. And we're all at a different place in our journey, like if you've been eating meat this whole time, like 30, however many years, and for you, it's that moment to cleanse. Just know why you're doing it. Know why you're doing it, and it's time we all take a collective exhale together. A deep breath in and an exhale. So I'm just going to offer that to you right now, that we together take a deep breath in through our nose, all the way in as much as you can. And when you think you've reached the top, just sip some more in and hold it, and exhale slowly. And do that again as long as you take to inhale, and inhale as full as you can into your lungs. As long as you take, hold it that long, and then exhale that long. And there's more, but I'll pause here. Thank you for being here and having listened, and just taking this moment to reflect on your process and where you're at in this journey right now.